Hey friends, it's Jennifer Sinceri with Stampin' Up, and I am coming on tonight, or I should say this afternoon, very impromptu. I wanted to show you some alternatives for the Beary Comforting Paper Pumpkin. And I had a couple customers who actually were not happy with this kit. They said it was too juvenile. And I wanted to show you some possibilities. I wanted to give you guys some inspiration of what you can do with this kit. So let's get started, okay? Whenever I get a kit that I'm not really excited about, I look at the materials and I say, okay, what can I do? What is it that I like about the kit? So I'm going to show you the things that I liked. I loved the card fronts. And let me make sure we've got enough light. All right, let me turn my other light on. Oop. This was totally impromptu. So, because I just, sometimes you get really super excited. Okay, so let's make sure we have some light. All right, I love the card bases. This is Rich Razzleberry, and I love the gold foiling in here. And then you'll see some squiggle lines. This is Rococo Rose. So I love these card bases. The other card base, the same design, just a different color. This is Calypso Coral. So I love these. This is the other card base, and you know what? It's not bad either. I wouldn't have thought of putting the soft seafoam with Rich Razzleberry. I actually love all three of these colors put together. So we've got some great card bases to work with. Also, the envelopes are lined. I love that. And they would coordinate with any of the card bases. So right there, I love this. You also get a full sheet of Stampin' Dimensionals. Love that. Who can't use Stampin' Dimensionals? And then we've got some die cuts for sentiments. These are always helpful, and I plan on using these. Let's see. You get a Rich Razzleberry ink spot. The parts that I'm not a fan of, the stamp sets. Let's see, you get a koala bear, which is actually really cute if you have kids. Cute for get well cards and birthday cards for children. That you've got get well soon, you are on my mind, and hooray. You can use the sentiments. There's a little flower bouquet. So, the stamps aren't bad. Then we have these die cuts, okay? And to me, these just don't go really well with these. I find that these are so elegant. And then we've got this. And these look very juvenile, all right? I am going to set these aside. I'm going to use them for kid cards. I'm not going to use them for these. I'm going to dress these up, and these are going to be adult friend or family cards, okay? So the other things, we've got some of these. These aren't bad. You could use these for a birthday or get well card. I'm not going to use them though with these. And then we have these pieces. These look great to me. I played around with them to try and get them to work with these, and I came up with something different. So I'm going to use these on a different card. But I love them. I love the gold in them. I love the colors. So honestly, the only part that I wasn't a huge fan of were really the die cuts that were bears. But I have kids, and I work with kids, and so I can use those on another card. All right, so let me show you what I came up with. I looked in my stash to see what do I have that goes with these colors that would complement. All right, so I just pulled some scraps. I have soft seafoam. I pulled some Rococo Rose. I pulled, this is Blackberry Bliss, because there looked to me a little darker line in here. So I was just looking at my scraps. I looked at some DSP that I have. This is new DSP that is in the brand new mini catalog that is coming out on January 5th. You guys don't have this yet, but to me, I saw how it complemented these colors. All right. So I played around with this to make it work. Then I looked for some dies. What could I use with these cards, card bases? And so I was looking at my dies. Okay, Valentine's Day is coming up. To me, these don't really look like Valentine's Day cards, but I pulled a heart out. This was actually on my table. I used it on some other cards. This goes to this set, Meant to Be. And it has the dies that go with it. All right, so I used a heart. The other thing was I looked at the stamps that go with this paper. Okay, so this is brand new. You don't have it yet. It's coming out January 5th. You don't have to have this stamp set. You can use, and I actually didn't use the stamp set. I used the die that cuts out this flower that also cuts out these flowers. So really that was the only thing I used. You can use any flower paper that you have that has these colors in it. Just look at what you've already got. That's what I did. And then I already had on my table this stamp set. I was using this for some of my card kits to go for January. And I liked this sentiment right here. You're a blessing in my life. So I pulled that out. All right, so let's get started. To save time, and because I was kind of already playing around, I've already cut out my dies. And I did some fussy cutting. Like I said, I used the die cut that went with this stamp set. You don't have to use the dies. You can always fussy cut. And like I said, you don't have this paper. Look at your paper. Look to see what you already have. What will complement? What's in that color family? All right. I'm using my full-sized ink pad. And so I was thinking I could put that heart there. All right. I hope you guys can see okay. Can everybody see all right? Is there a shadow? Let me move this a little bit. There we go. All right. I'm going to turn on a little more light. Oop, I just put my finger in my ink pad. All right, there we go. All my lights are on. Okay, so I cut this out. Then I cut out some flowers, all right? And the flowers, when they cut out, this was a different flower. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to overlap those like that. And nobody will really be able to tell because this is a part of another flower. It's just going to blend in. And then I thought I would use one of those sentiment die cuts. Okay. And I pulled some of these gilded gems, and I thought that would go with this really well. And you know, I didn't think about looking at ribbon. Let's see what I've got that has some gold in it. I know I have a roll that's white with gold edging. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is coming together? I think this looks very attractive. Totally different look than the bears, right? Okay, let's see. Ah, here it is. Okay, this is called, what is it called? Metallic Edge Ribbon. And it comes with white and silver or white with gold. Okay, so we could use some of this on here. So I'll put that aside. And let me stamp my sentiment. You're a blessing in my life. Just because there's a heart doesn't mean it has to be Valentine's Day. All right. There we go. All right, and then I think I'll use some dimensionals. I'm going to use probably some dimensionals I've already started just to be able to eliminate one. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, let's put some dimensionals on this heart. Okay, and then you guys can help me. I didn't really plan this video. I just got super excited and I thought I have to share this with my stamping friends because I know a lot of my stamping friends subscribe to Paper Pumpkin. I've been trying to do a live for our Paper Pumpkin kits to give you guys inspiration, because sometimes you like to do what the kit says and sometimes you don't. I don't think I'm going to put this on dimensionals. I think I'm going to just put a little bit of glue and let it be lower than the bigger heart. If I can get my glue out. Let's grab the other one. All right. Just a couple dots. Doot, doot. Oh, I can hear the cat in the hallway. Getting into something. All right. Here. There we go. Okay. I think that looks pretty. All right. Who's joining me? Who do we have? I can't tell. If you are watching me live, go ahead and comment for me, please. I would love to see who you are and where you're from. That would be wonderful. All right. Let me just do one more thing. And I'll continue here. Let's see. All right, I just wanted to message people and let them know that I'm here because I didn't let people know that. All right, so we've got that. Now, we can put this flat or we can pop that up some more. I think we don't want too much dimension, but it might look good popped up. Although we do have our sentiment. Maybe the sentiment will get popped up. Okay, let's put these flat and then we'll pop up the sentiment. We'll do that. Okay. So like I said, this is brand new paper that is coming out in January. It looks like, well, it's made after painting. It looks like you can see the brush strokes on there. And then we could put that here. Yeah, and let's put some dimensions on that. Oh, I've got 2 people watching me that I can see. Give me a comment and let me know who you are. I would love to see who you guys are and interact with you. Let me know where you're from. Okay. Don't be shy. And then we'll put that down there. And then let me grab my Gilded Gems. Let's put some of those on. My Paper Pumpkin came late. I didn't get it when everybody else was getting it. So I just got mine a couple days ago. All right, let's see. So maybe you've already made yours up. I don't know. Put one there. And let's do a little one. Oop. Right there. And then I'm going to make a bow. And then I can see if I want to put one more gem on there. Hey, Gail. Did you make your kit up already? Mine didn't, like I said, mine didn't show up until just recently. And I started to look at it. And I got so excited, I wanted to hop on here. This is totally unplanned. But I was not a big fan of the koala bears with these beautiful card bases. So I'm going to save my bear die cuts for some kid cards that I can do. And I wanted to show you some inspiration on these beautiful card bases and envelopes. Okay. That might be a little bit too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. This is the paper pumpkin. It's the Beary Comforting. So it was the December kit, and it had the bears with it, the little koala bear, and I don't know what else it was, a teddy bear. And so I am saving the bears for something else. I just didn't feel like they went with these gorgeous card bases. All right, where'd my paper snips go? There they are. They're right in front of me. Yours has animals. Yeah, it came with a raccoon, a teddy bear, and then these koala bears. And so I'm saving these for other cards for kids. And then I'm just using the card bases and doing more floral with them. Okay. All right, let's see. And I think this ribbon looks a little bit ivory with, or vanilla with the gold, but we will make it work. All right, let me grab a glue dot. Might do a couple of these on there because these are small and my bow is a bit bigger. Okay, take those backings off. Tomorrow is New Year's Eve. I can hardly believe it. This whole month has just flown by. Okay, there's my first alternative. The bow is just being funky. All right, I might have to put a glue dot there and hold it down. All right, there's the first card. So like I said, if you don't have this paper yet, if you're not a demo and you don't have the paper that you might have ordered in your pre-order, look at your stash. Look to see what paper do I have that coordinates with these colors. Look for flowers that you can fussy cut. Look at your dies. Do you have, what shapes do you have? You could have hearts, you could do a flower, anything. So look to see what you have that you can use to dress up these card bases. You have a gorgeous card base with this beautiful gold foiling. And then add to it. You just need something in that rich razzleberry. And then there's this Rococo Rose. Any similar pink would work that would blend with it. So there's the first card. Okay. All right, let me show you the next one. Okay, I pulled the Calypso Coral card base. I cut out another one of those hearts. Okay. Another heart die. And then I cut 2 more flowers out. This time, the matching Calypso Coral and the yellow. But I want to cut off a little bit of that coral color that's on the very tips of these. Okay. Let's see. So I can overlap them if I could get my hands to work, just like I did before. And then We'll do another banner, and I can do a bow and some gilded gems. All right, so let's put some dimensionals on this one. Pretty much the same design, just horizontal instead of vertical this time. Different colors this time, but really the same layout. Okay. So if you don't have heart dies, you could do a circle. You could do layering ovals. That would be pretty. Just look to see what you have that will work. Don't be afraid to play around and create something different than what the kit has. You know, when people get their paper pumpkins, sometimes they absolutely love the design and sometimes they don't. And I really want to stress that you can do what it suggests, but you don't have to. It's such a good value. Getting the ink spot and a stamp set and then card bases and envelopes. It's such a good value at $22. I really feel that it's worth the investment. And then I just play around with it. When I don't like the design, I play around with it. We always have scrap paper that we're not using. You know, I keep a little tub of all my scraps. And then before I cut anything, I always go to my scrap tub first and I see, do I have something that will go with what I'm working with? If I don't, then I pull a new piece of cardstock or a new piece of DSP. Okay, let's do another sentiment. I'm just going to do the same sentiment, you guys, because I already have it out and I know that it will fit on these dies that came with the kit. And I'm even going to use the same ink. I'm going to use the Rich Razzleberry because it coordinates. It looks pretty. You could do your Calypso Coral if you want. You could do black if you want. You could do embossed gold if you want. All right. I think that looks really pretty. And I'm going to put a dimensional on one side and then I'm going to use snail on the other because I don't want this up and then this isn't matching the same level. But I got to take the backing off. There we go. All right. So there's that. And then let's add a bow. Make another bow. Okay. Come on. And there we go. All right. And then I think we'll put that right here. So let me find my glue dots. Here they are. Okay, 1 and 2. I think these colors are so happy and cheerful. And who can't use a little bit of cheerfulness right now? Okay, so there's the bow. And then let's add in a couple of those gems. All right, I'm going to use a big one. And I'm going to use a little one. So there's 2 there. Maybe I'll put another one. I could put another one here or, yeah, maybe there. I don't know if you can really see that. Okay, there's the second card. Oh, hey, Hey, Cindy, thanks for hopping on. You use a 7-tab expanding file folder to put your scraps in for easy access. I love that idea. So then you probably coordinate it by colors, I'm thinking, or maybe color families. That's a great idea. Okay, there's the second alternative. Here was the first one. Here's the second one. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more with you. I'm going to use that striped card base. Okay, so this was the third card base to that kit. So then I pulled a Blackberry Bliss mat. Okay. And then I had a couple scraps left from cutting out those flowers. So I was thinking, how can I use that on here? So there's that. Okay. And then I took my heart die again, and I cut out a soft sea foam heart. All right. And then I had some flowers left, so I cut out 2 more flowers, and there we go. That's going to be our design. Okay. So let me get started. Let's put our adhesive down. Have any of you ladies been working on New Year's Day cards? Are you going to be sending out a New Year's Day card? I know sometimes people don't do that because they've just sent out Christmas cards, or they do a Christmas card and wish people Happy New Year's in it. But some people do New Year's Day cards, and so I was just curious who does. Let's see, let me move that a little bit up. This isn't quite the same length, but you know what? I don't know that people will notice unless I point it out to them. All right, let's put on some dimensionals. I'll do 3 dimensionals. This is that soft sea foam. It's such a very pretty light color. You probably wouldn't have thought of making it in a heart. We usually think of doing hearts in reds and pinks and purples. But I already had the die out, and so I just said, I'm going to use that one. I was being a little lazy. I didn't want to go dig and get another die out. All right, so I'm just putting some liquid glue. My husband's up here. I guess he's opening a box, so you might hear some rustling. We share the craft room. He's got one side and I have my side. So we face each other. Okay, let's put this little doily piece down. I've put some liquid glue on it. Okay. And it's a little lopsided. Oop, here we go. That's the nice thing about liquid glue, is you've got a little bit of wiggle room time. All right. Gail says she is starting to do some New Year's Day cards. Good for you, Gail. Okay, we're going to put those down. And move that down a little bit because I want my heart to show. And then my second. And notice how this isn't perfect. That's okay, because I knew I had a really good one here, and I'm just going to overlap it. So nobody will know that my flower wasn't whole or perfect with the cutting, because you just covered it up. All right, and I'm going to grab one more of those sentiment dies. And let's stamp our sentiment one more time. And we'll put that on there. This time I think I'm just going to use my snail. I don't think I need to put any dimensionals, and I'm going to just put it straight in the middle. Okay. I don't want to get ink on there. And then let me make another bow. All right, if you haven't already done so, ladies, give me a heart, give me some love. That helps other people see this video so they can be inspired as well. Give me a heart or a wow. And if you would share my video, that would be awesome. I would love that. Share the love. Okay. And if you're watching the replay and you do not know about Paper Pumpkin, please personal message me. I would love to answer any questions that you have. It is a subscription box of goodies that comes to you every month for $22. You can skip a month anytime. You do get a sneak peek of what is going to be in the box, and if you choose that that is not your thing, you can skip that month. Or if money is an issue or something's come up or you haven't had the time, you can always cancel, and there's no penalties for canceling. I don't want to cover up all my flour. Maybe I do it down here. No, I don't like that either. Maybe we'll do it right there this time. I think that works. All right, so you get your stamps, you get adhesive usually, and you get an ink spot, and you get all the consumable materials you need to make the projects. These are alternatives. I didn't care for the design for this month, so I am making my own design. And that's why I wanted to show people today, was what you can do with some scraps and using whatever dies you have already. Okay, there's the third card. I think that came out really pretty. Really pretty. Thank you, Gail, for sharing. I appreciate that. Okay, so here are the 3 cards that I made using the Beary Comforting Paper Pumpkin kit. This is what they wanted you to make with those bears. And some people love the bears. They just, to me, they didn't really go with the card bases. They looked a little bit more juvenile, and I really liked the elegance of the gold foiling, and so I built on that and made my own designs. I hope you guys like that. And like I said, if you don't have a subscription to Paper Pumpkin and you are curious about it, please message me. I would love to answer your questions. And if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to be yours. I'm in the Sacramento Valley, and I can give you a free catalog. We're getting a brand new catalog January 5th. It goes live. And I already have them here, so I can send that to you if you would like one. I see some hearts. Thank you so much for the hearts. All right, guys, I hope you have a great evening, and looking forward to seeing you soon. Okay, bye-bye.